So welcome to Fred Trail's first live stream event. We are excited you can join us. You can enter your comments or questions in the comment section below. And Chris Beckert and I will be addressing some of your comments and questions during the presentation and at the end. But thank you for being an incredibly supportive community. And I'll now turn it over to Rob Maples. Rob?
Hey, thanks, Jennifer. Hello, trail friends. My name is Rob Maple, your current Fred Trails president. I would again like to welcome all of you to our first ever Facebook Live event. Also a very first event for myself as well. So using this technology has just been a great way to connect to everyone out there. So a little background about Fred Trails. Many of us have been supporting the community with trail building and projects for many years. However, on June 1st of 2017, just 3.5 short years ago, the Fredericksburg Trails Alliance came to fruition out of a merger of two amazing volunteer organizations. We can't forget all the years of volunteer support and everyone who has helped blaze the trail to this point. Their work and effort is invaluable, as it is truly the sum of all of those years of effort that has gotten us to where we are today. Our aim and mission of Fred Trails has always been to protect and expand the off-road trails through advocacy, communication, education, recreation, and of course, trail work. We'll talk more about these things we've been working on over the next 20 minutes or so. Next slide, please. So our goal from day one was to first work towards building the community, which is so important. That community would ultimately bring in the volunteers necessary to build and maintain our trails. It really does take an army of volunteers to ensure our trails are open and accessible to all trail users. With building that community, we have worked towards building relationships with landowners and city officials. We also have a signed MOU, or a memorandum of understanding, with the city and the Friends of the Rappahannock, which ultimately defines our relationship with the city and our conservation and trail-related organizational responsibilities. This was a key effort in meeting our mission objectives. We have worked towards defining and documented local trail guidance for all trail users, such as trail stewardship and trail etiquette advice. With shared space, as we all know, there is a greater need for education for all trail users so we can all get along the trails and enjoy them while we're out there. We are also an IMBA local affiliate, or the International Mountain Biking Association. This provides us a plethora of resources for trail building and opens the door for potential project funding and grants. And those grants and funding are what gets us more trails more quickly for our entire community. Next slide, please. So during this still very hard to believe pandemic, we really wanted to amp up our efforts to promote health and wellness, allowing people to explore our local trails. Although some of our efforts to get the information out there have remained virtual or in smaller groups, using the COVID guidelines, we are encouraging community involvement and fun through other methods or avenues. As you know, we have been challenged this year to do large trail maintenance events and have resorted to calling upon individuals to support the overall mission. We look forward to having more public-facing workdays and events in the future. A few of our board of directors will discuss the details of some of these events Fred Trails is inviting the community in to take part in. We have been very successful in recruiting volunteers, but as you all know, the job is really never done. Trails do not build themselves, they don't maintain themselves. There are no trail gnomes who work on the trails. By the way, if you do see a trail gnome, please grab them and recruit them for us to get some more help out there. We are so thankful for all of your support, all of your donations, and every volunteer counts. Every minute, every hour, every bead of sweat counts towards making this all come true. It really takes all of you, and of course us, to make this dream a true reality. The Fredericksburg Natural Surface Trail community has shown us wonderful talent and enthusiasm, and we know those listening to us today is why we can do the things we can do. Next slide. We have worked hard to bring you an active board of directors. The Fred Trails Board of Directors has been meeting routinely to plan community events, enhance and expand our trails, submit grant proposals, work with government and public entities, coordinating work on public lands, procuring resources, and so much more. As president of the Board of Directors, I would now like you to meet our amazing team of volunteers.
Hi guys, and thank you for having us today. I'm Lynn Faust. I am the Fred Trails Secretary. I was, prior to that, a ride coordinator, so I have special interests in riding with and recruiting, encouraging young riders, new riders, and female riders. You can often see me out on the quarry or the Motts trails. If you see me out there, if you want to say hi, stop on by and say hello.
Thanks, Lynn. I'm Jennifer Withrow, and I'm the marketing coordinator and doing other things as well, and part of the membership committee. And I have recently been enjoying the Motts Loop. You might catch me out there, especially on a weekend. And I'll hand it over to Lindy.
Thanks, Jennifer. I'm Lindy Kirkland, and I am the grants coordinator for the Fredericksburg Trails Alliance. It's my job to seek out funding for additional trail projects through local and national grants and foundations. And I'm an avid mountain biker and bridge builder on the trails as well.
Kate.
My name is Kate Moga, and I'm an avid trail runner. I put about 1,000 miles on the trail each year, and love to organize group runs, coordinate group runs on the trail for people that don't know where they're going or just want to explore in a group. And we look forward to doing more of that in the next month or so. I also serve on the Fred Trails Outreach Committee, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Thanks, Kate. Danny?
Hi, I'm Danny Frizzell, the Fred Trails Treasurer. I'm amazed by the amount of volunteers and donations we've had. So I did want to take a moment and thank everybody. Thank you, and continue to volunteer and donate. I, as well as quite a few others, enjoy the mountain biking. I'm usually on the trails every other day or so. So look for me, and probably look for me in about 20 or 30 minutes. So thanks.
Thanks, Danny. It's a beautiful day. Chris?
Hey, I'm Chris Beckert. I'm the Fred Trails Hike Coordinator, and I also serve in the membership committee. I'm regularly out there for all different kinds of hikes around the area. Love the quarry trails and also the completed Motts Loop, which is amazing. And I also run the trails too. So I'm looking forward to meeting you, meeting some new and some familiar faces, and getting together for some great hiking.
Thanks, Chris. And Eli?
Hi, I'm Eli Hanissian. I am your Fred Trails Ride Coordinator. I also work really closely with the Mary Washington community to incorporate community events and rides into our programs. I'm on the membership committee as well. And when I'm not busy with school, I try to get out and ride as much as I can. I love the quarry trail systems as well as Motts. Both are amazing trail systems. My specialty is group night rides. So if you see me out there past dusk, that's probably me. Thank you.
And Rob, would you like to mention Mike and Ben, who are our trail bosses, and what that role entails?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so Mike Gautreau and Ben Faust, both trail bosses for Fred Trails. Unfortunately, they're not with us today. They're both at their 9-to-5 jobs working, so they were unable to attend. But what they do out there is help coordinate volunteers, line up projects, and help getting the real trail work started. And of course, at the end of the day, that's the end result of the hard work that they do, is coordinating and then executing the trail work out there.
Great, thank you. And next up, Kate.
Hi again. We have a great new Facebook group, Bike, Hike, and Run the Fredericksburg Trails. If you haven't already, if you haven't joined it already, Chris has placed some information in the comments. You're invited to openly comment and post your related pictures. We want to post our events to our coordinated group bike rides and hikes and trail runs. We'll be scheduling more of these, like I said earlier, in November. If you want to reach out to myself, Chris, or Eli, if you have any questions or want to get an additional hike in based on your schedule or time, that that would be awesome. Take a look at our new etiquette poster located at the kiosks at Sunshine Ballpark and the main Motts Run entrances. A big thank you to Erin Campbell, our local talented graphic designer, donated her time to create these and other resources. Remember to share the trails and keep dogs on leashes.
Awesome. Thanks, Kate. Well, we also have some other great things that are coming up in the trails and on the trails and some ways to be connected. And one of those is that we're having a 2020 photo contest. So we want to invite you to grab your smartphone or your camera. You can be an amateur, it doesn't really matter. And we want you to hit the quarry trails or Motts Run and have some fun. And we're going to be doing this once a month. We're going to have a contest once a month for October, November, and December. And each one is going to have a different theme that is along the lines of Fall in Love 2020. So we want you to take your best shot while you're out on the trails with friends or with your family or with your pet. And we want you to send those to my email, chrisbeckert@fredtrails.org. And we'll put that in the comments and title that Trail Photo Contest in the subject line. Include just a 1-sentence description of your photo, your full name, your phone number by the 20th of the month. We've had a few that have already rolled in, so just get out there, especially this coming weekend when it's supposed to be nice. We're going to judge the photos for creativity, for fitting the theme, and also just for your uniqueness. And we're going to announce the winners on the 30th of each month, and you will get prizes for this, so definitely you want to enter. We're also going to feature your photos in our social media page and our website. And the themes, you can take notes on this, as October is falling in love with nature, November is falling in love with designs, and December is falling in love with people. And our friends at River Rock Outfitters have generously donated gift cards that are going to go to this month's photo contest winner. So definitely make it a point to join us for that.
Eli.
All right, so we have a very exciting new thing for you guys. Obviously, because of COVID, it's very difficult to have group rides. So what we've done, we have a virtual challenge that will go on through November on Strava. Essentially, it's going to be focusing on the Motts Run full complete loop. Now that we finish it, it's a celebration of that loop. And we're going to share more details and a video how-to for signing up for that event. But what it will be is tracking accomplishments through the Strava Club and through the segments. And you'll have a ton of different awards for category leaders, as well as the local legend segment completion. So get out there as often as you can. Be the most ridden, or the person that rides the most on that segment, and you'll become the local legend. So we'll also have surprise awards based on the fantastic stories and posts that you guys share to the Fredericksburg Bike, Hike, and Run page. So make sure to do that, and we'll be releasing more information at the first week of November. Thank you.
Thanks, Eli. Lindy.
One of the things that we do is look for ways to raise money. And as part of the International Mountain Biking Association local affiliate program, we've been selected this quarter as one of their 10 projects that they have identified on their website. You can go to their website, imba.org, and look at the Diggin campaign and see the Fred Trails Quarry Trail System signage project on their website. We were one of 10 selected for this quarter, and you can go read about the project there. But essentially, we're looking to raise funds to put the signage on the Quarry Trail System. We know that's been a consistent comment about the trails, and so we're working to enhance your trail experience on the quarry trails and provide a much safer experience with that. You can also donate through the IMBA site. As you see there, it has a donate button. So we would very much appreciate your support through the IMBA Dig-In project. Thanks.
And back to you, Rob.
All right, yeah, thanks, Jennifer. Yeah, so in addition to the Signs project, there are just so many projects that we've completed and or in the queue. Of course, that is at Motts Run, and of course, the quarry, and in between with some of the work we've done at Prettyman's Camp early in 2020. I would like to now focus on the project that we kind of dubbed Get Around Motts campaign. Looking at the map, which hopefully you see in front of you, It's hot off the press, by the way, and this is also a map that's found within the Fredericksburg Parks, Rec, and Events Trail Guide. You'll see 3 colored boxes. By the way, those colored boxes are not on the trail guide. This is for informative purposes for this brief. First, I'll focus on the green box. For those that know Motts, this is the location of the 2.4-mile trail that was recently finished as of last week. Just to give you a little bit of background and the amount of effort that went into that section, if you remember, we actually flagged and submitted a proposal for this project back in February of 2019. Yep, 2019 of February is when we started that. After that, we quickly corridored it, meaning we got it ready for trail building, snipping things, getting ready, not cutting any large trees, but, snipping the small things that kind of meander us through the vegetation and through the forest. That happened in March of 2019. Well, at that point, we realized that due to public access in the backside of Motts, the south side of Motts, and due to not having a lot of funding, we had to start a funding drive. So through a lot of great sponsors, a lot of raffles and differing things, we were able to hire a professional trail builder in March of this year of 2020. Of course, hydraulic power, expertise, quicker work, all of those things apply to this project. After that, with an additional 412 hours of volunteer labor, we did all the finished work between March and April of this year. So there's pros and cons to everything. Cons of COVID are the obvious. The pros of COVID were it did allow us all extra time to get out there to submit our time to meet these 412 required hours, and was able to do all the volunteer finished work in that time period. Following that, as you all know, there's a ton of structure out there, whether that's culverts, dirt crossings, primitive creek crossings, and so forth. We invested another 332 hours of building trail structures from about April to October, which again, we just finished this trail as of last week. So we've officially closed the loop, and we hope that all of you are enjoying the new section. In the red box, you're going to see Turkey Run Project. Just very briefly, we posted yesterday on the score of the game right now. And if you still have the score and have used the trails, the Beavers have 1 point and the trails have 0. Yep, we are underwater in that section, and the Beavers have come and created a very impassable lake at that area. So because of that, we are working towards a ride around and or a reroute that will get us out of the wet and keep us on a sustainable and dry reroute moving to the future. Stay tuned for the work on that trail very soon. The blue box is another project, the Mine Run project. Again, for those that use the trails, knows that Mine Run is a large creek crossing and knows that you either get wet, you creek cross through rock jumping or rock hopping, or you don't cross it. So we are hopeful that in the future, we are able to remedy that with a actual creek crossing that we plan to submit a permit for with the city of Fredericksburg. We are working through that, and it is the proverbial long pole in the tent, but that is a high milestone for us to check off, and we are working towards that.
Lindy.
Thanks, Jennifer. As Rob has mentioned and so many others, none of this is possible without donations and sweat equity from just a whole bunch of people. But we've got several sponsors that have really stepped up to the plate this year and provided some significant funding for a couple of these projects. And at the top, you have Trek Bicycles in Fredericksburg and Old Town Bicycles as 2 of our platinum sponsors. Fredericksburg Deck Builders and Van Zant Restorations as some of our other larger sponsors. And then a number of others at the bottom, Tricord Companies, Kevin's Roofing, Illusion Wraps, Bowers Family Chiropractic, Simventions, Atlantic Builders, Habitat Maids, and MGI, among others that have contributed significant funding to some of these projects. And so we just want to say a huge thank you, and just know that none of this could be completed without their participation and their support, and we very, very much appreciate all that these companies and individuals have done for Fredericksburg trails.
So what does the future hold for our trails? And of course, as we've really have, tried to present a very short snippet of all the successes we've had, not just in 2020, this again dates back to 2017. A lot of things going on and, a lot of hard work by a lot of people that are out there doing their own thing as far as helping out, kicking sticks off the trails and helping us when we need help. And sometimes just going out on their own to address something that needs to be addressed. So all in all, it's a team effort, and we really can't do it without the sponsorship, as Lindy just mentioned, and of course, all of the blood, sweat, and tears that go into everyone's work out on the trails. So looking into the future, there is a significant designated untouched area within the Motts Run Reservoir Park and other public properties around the area, which hold a lot of promise for the installation of a lot more natural surface trails. The goal of introducing a diverse set of trail types and difficulties throughout the area is very high on our priority list. We obviously want to offer fun to all skill types, but we also want to offer challenges for those that are looking for the challenges. And one thing I'll note as a bike rider, never be too proud to, to walk something, and never think something's too hard where it has to be destroyed. Those challenges are there to increase your skill and to increase other skill. And eventually, through some perseverance and maybe a few bumps and scrapes, you too will be doing those obstacles. So those are intended to be there on purpose, again, for future challenges and skills for everyone. We would also love to introduce mountain bike skill areas and other bike park-like features for our growing community. We know that all those things are huge in Northern Virginia and in Richmond, and we just hear about all the great stories, how it builds ecotourism, it puts people in our breweries, it puts people in our restaurants, it gets people here to ride our trails. And at the end of the day, that's why we do what we do. So we're excited to continue to push the envelope of enhancing and expanding our local trails for everyone that wants to use them.
So great. So thanks for joining us. We hope to see you out on the trails. And if you need to contact us, you can do it through direct Facebook message. You can email us directly. And thank you so much for all the support. You guys have been there. I noticed our last post, people were chiming in about what to do with the land structure, and we really appreciate it. So thanks, everybody.